Well, howdy, hey, welcome back to Pacific Northwest Gold Rushers. I'm Jeff, amateur prospector, and this is Gold Rush 24. Okay, so I ended up with a 3-day weekend, and I am going to go try to find something to do tomorrow. But I just got some interesting news. The weather's been horrible. My back's been bad. I just got it back into place yesterday. Thanks, Lise. And I need some help in your opinions. I really am asking for comments. It's not just, I don't even, you guys know me. I do this for fun, and I try to create my videos to do kind of like what I look for, and I don't want to say educational because we all do this for fun, but I didn't know squat. It took me almost 2 years to even find my first flake of gold, so I don't even know what I'm doing back then. But I have learned a lot, not just from watching Gold Rush and Mine Rescue and Whitewater, all those, but the YouTube channels have really come along. A big thing happened a year or two ago. In the middle of the year, we all got the word in Washington State that we can't pump water anymore. We all know when you high bank, you still can't have your silty water go back into the source. That's pretty much standard. So even when we did high bank, we had to be ethical, we had to fill our holes, and we had to have our drainage ponds per se. That's pretty standard. So we were all upset, shut down beach mining, shut down everything. I refused to give up. I tried to find different ways of doing things, but a friend of mine who's much larger than mine, well, his social status is much larger than mine. He's way more into it than I. I work, I do, it's fun, it's a hobby for me. But that was really a tough one because even being ethical with high banking, they shut it down. So, which didn't make sense because they said you can't pump water, and every outboard motor uses a pump. So it's been a huge issue, a huge hindrance for amateur prospectors and miners, or whatever you want to call them. So I've been communicating with this guy who's very active in social media. I don't want to use his name. I just don't. So he's been saying stuff, and everybody knows you just don't go with gossip to make your decisions about things. So I just want to read this because the talk was about legally high banking. He says he has an answer, and I want your opinion, and I mean this with all sincerity. I would never want to break the law. I would never want to, well, purposely. I want your opinion. That's what I'm saying. So he says, the 1872 Miners Act, written to protect us from these issues, Washington is the only state that exempts the prospectors and miners from state enforcement and lawsuits from the environmentalist. Excuse me. It clearly states in the RCW Code Section 3 that no agencies have been authorized to enforce, take, fine, intervene with mineral prospecting in this state. No environmental agency has an authority to include any authority including EPA to penalize individuals. In fact, it states that if any of those agencies or organizations violate such code, they are subject to personal lawsuit. They are only allowed to observe, try to educate, and that's it. If it's in the water, sure, it can go back in the water. If it's on the bank, it needs to settle before entering any body of water, which is basically the rules any high banker already knows. And I responded to him, you know, it makes sense, but basically that's what the law was already. On my older videos, I would show that I would actually fill my jet sled with my drainage pond hole, because there could be a nug in there, and then I would drain into that, and then, you know, if I'm running a long time, that pond hole would eventually fill up, and I would have to take a break, which was good anyway, because I'm old and fat. So, and then he continued, and again, remember, I would never want to intentionally break the law. He says, and again, I'm not going to mention his name, the wardens have no authority to stop you. Just be ethical, which hopefully we all do. And you all know I promote filling in your holes and follow the rules. Because the purpose is, there are certain reasons for certain things, and I agree. Stay out of fish beds, you all know I believe in that, and everything else. Just be ethical and do what we do. Be best stewards we can, which we all should be. All encounters of any agency's encounters get on video. I don't know about that, but it makes sense. Kind of cover your ass. I get it. Big gold organizations are ready now for first ones to screw up. I support law enforcement, and I don't like poachers. I don't like people who break the rules. Granted, Washington State is their fisheries, not the people that are on the field, but they're really idiots. They're dumb. It's some of the stuff they propose is just dumb, but not going to get into that part of it. But it's actually why I quit fishing. You get a pamphlet, but it's worthless. Just throw it out. You got to check the rules every morning before you go, because they change it in 5 minutes. And I even said, admittedly, because I want my YouTube channels to set an example and to educate and show those nugs, and only you guys get to see my nugs. I said, I'm not sure about putting that on the YouTube channel. I'm not sure. And this is again why I'm asking you. And then he continued, obviously common sense, no spawning zones, which again, you all know I support. Stay away from the fish. Stay away from them. And he says, us ethical people, we don't dig there anyways. Most of the old rules still apply. They won't announce it because it's going to be a huge battle in court already. I don't follow politics. I would know about that. There's a gold show coming up here in Washington. I'm hoping to get there this year. I totally spaced it off last year, but you guys know I'm a space case anyway. And then he says, no, don't put it on your YouTube. Send me the video and I can submit it to the organization for evidence of the encounter. I guess he assumed when I said put it on YouTube, he's saying the encounter. I support law enforcement. I support game wardens, and I absolutely would never do that. And I wouldn't do it. I see videos like that where they're trying to call out cops and whoever, and especially game wardens and everything, and I don't believe in it, and I don't think any of you should either. Basically, deal with it, man up and deal with it. Guilty or not guilty, you have a voice, but it doesn't need to be public information. So I think he just misunderstood. What I meant to say is, if I can get some kind of confirmation that this is true in Washington State, can I show myself high banking with my little Mighty Keen wash plant without classifying and everything, pumping water, containing my tailings and drainage water? Would I be basically producing evidence to incriminate myself as breaking the law? This is where I'm asking you guys, and I really hope I can get, you know, if you want to tell me I suck, that's fine, but I kind of looking for constructive comments and feedback. Let's see, and then he goes into some personal stuff, which I don't want to talk about, because it includes his claims and everything. So, here's the deal. And yes, we're getting out there tomorrow. My back should be willing to do a little bit. Where do you get the facts? I mean, sometimes it gets so complicated you don't know who to trust. Or, well, I trust this guy, but again, somebody's saying, you know, screw the man, screw this, screw that, we can do it because there's a loophole and this and that. I don't want to jump through loopholes. I'm too freaking fat to jump through a loophole. I just want to know. And if you go to a website, you have to, I can barely find shoes on a website. I don't know. I want your opinion. Especially if you live here in Washington. You know, have you pursued or understand the legality of it now? According to him, how I summarize it is this so-called temporary test law, I don't know if that's what it's called, was purely to do a test, and they just are not announcing that it's over with. So let me know, please. I'm being sincere. I don't want to break the law. I try to not lie, cheat, or steal. I try to live by ethics and honor and code. And I want to do it right. I promote my YouTube channel as trying to be educational, yet still showing how much fun it is and entertaining in that sense. If I can Highbank, I can definitely get Goldfinger's butt shoveling some dirt instead of just milking them. I'm joking. I'm joking about that. Goldfinger, you know I love you. So this is a sincere, legitimate question. No joking aside. I want your opinions. Can I Highbank ethically, still filling in the holes and everything else, or should I just continue to just do my best with what I got to work with? Let me know. We'll be back tomorrow. The rivers and the creeks and everything else, we've had such crappy weather for a few weeks. But I found gold in that cliff. And oh, by the way, that test I did with the 6 buckets and everything, that hill did come down. So there's heavy machinery up there right now clearing it out. But I found some interesting stuff on that road. And that's what I'm probably going to do tomorrow. Let's just have a fun day, explore, work outside the box, and see if I can find me a hidden nug. Let me know. Please leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Get out there and do some digging. Them videos are getting scarce. I'm finding some new ones. If you got videos, please comment, because that way, every comment I check to see if they have videos, and I found some cool ones. They are, and I love my prospector porn. So, let me know, guys. I appreciate it. Go Rush 24.